Okay, we're live. Hey everyone, welcome. The first masterclass. I'm Sam. I'm going to be your host for today. I'm sure you already know that, but I thought I'd just make it clear. I've been really looking forward to this one. You know, some of these topics are really, really important. There's some of the basics that we should all know, and then we can transform our lives from that point. So before we get started, just send a quick little message in the chat. Where are you from? What are you hoping to get out of this? Okay, it'd be really nice to see why people are tuning in. And we'll get started in just a few minutes. Hey, Rich, that's a familiar name. Hi, Diane. Hi, Saeed. Diana. Denmark, Romania, Canada, Ireland, UK. Hello, Brit. London, Germany. I love the diversity that's happening right now. Spain. I think we've had two people in the same place. London, living in Costa Rica. Nice. I know a few people have made that switch. Okay. Virginia, always looking for self-improvement. That's great. Belgium, very diverse. Italy, Rome, Devon, down the West Country. Love that place. Got family down there. Okay. So let me dive in, get started. So, as I've said, I'm your host, Sam, and so I'm going to try my best to keep this under 30 minutes, right? Because I know attention spans, once you get over that time, starts to slip. So, and also it's a Sunday, so we want to do, other things with family and friends and so on. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can get rid of your stress, your negativity, and your self-doubt and start living a life you truly deserve. Okay. So how's it going to help? The 3 hidden habits that quietly keep you stressed, stuck, and spinning your wheels. So there's also an energy shift, and we want to sort of learn how to use stress as a gateway to peace, power, and prosperity. Okay. It's so important to sort of start understanding this. And then we've got this, what I call the inner unlock. So how to clear the subconscious blocks and beliefs and finally feel fully aligned. So if you're excited, I want to see some yeses in the chat. Go ahead, go and do that. So why wait until the end? To sit around for 30 minutes and hear me talk about all this stuff. I'm sure you're interested anyway. That's why you're here. But a lot of this stuff is not something that I share publicly that often. And if I did, it would be in snippets. So in this session, it's really to give you a bit of structure and understanding. And then it will give you some tools to then go and do all of this by yourself, right? And at the end, I will offer the chance to book a call with me as well. And if you want to go down and explore that option, there's no obligation. It's just there. I've had a lot of requests in the past, so I thought I'd just open it up to you guys. If you made the effort to come and see this webinar, this masterclass, sorry. So, it's there for you anyway. Okay, so there's going to be some tools and exercises in this that I've been using privately for the last 3 years. That's probably when I put all of this stuff together and really made this sort of toolbox that can really make a difference. Okay. There is also going to be a 7-day challenge. It's an interesting one at the end, so make sure to stick around to that. So this is for you if you're a person who feels like there's more to life, but don't really know what. So you feel a bit lost, or you have this feeling that I could be doing so much more with my life, and is this really it, right? If you're somebody who feels that you've got limiting beliefs and self-doubt, and that's stopping you from living your life fully, okay? And if you're somebody who feels overwhelmed and negative thoughts, obtrusive thoughts keep coming in and they keep dragging you down, this is definitely for you as well. And if you're, of course, stuck in that negative rut, okay, that even the best of us occasionally can get into that, right? It can all be going great, and all of a sudden something happened that we didn't expect, and next thing you know it, we're in this pool of negativity. So it's about creating that awareness that we can then we can pull ourselves back out. All right. I say we because it does happen to me occasionally. That's why we need these tools. All right. Nobody's perfect. Okay. So somebody who is also in a toxic relationship. Now, I speak to a lot of you on Instagram, and quite a big topic is having people, narcissistic people in your life. And you would have heard me say this, like, if you've got somebody like that in your life, the best thing to do is walk away or run away, because there's nothing you can do for that person. Okay. And it will help you in the long term. And if you're somebody else who is, just going through a bad breakup, we all go through them at some point in our lives. If you feel overwhelmed by stress at home or at work, and then if you feel like your sort of limiting beliefs and self-doubt are stopping you from, again, living that full life, okay? So if any of those apply to you, and there's so much more out there, then you're definitely in the right place. And I would definitely say at the right time, okay? This is a really nice time of year to start making changes, yeah? And then just a quick, brief intro to me. I'm sure you're going to know some of this anyway. I went through about 15 years of stress, negativity, and I had limiting beliefs and self-doubt for pretty much my whole life. I'm pretty sure that was inherited by my father, okay, and probably his mother as well. Very negative. They were pretty negative a lot of the time. Doesn't mean, that we didn't love them and all of that, but there was negativity there, and it was obvious. So when you're sort of nurtured in that kind of environment, it's very difficult. You kind of believe that to be your normal. And the short story, I went through years of chronic illness and fatigue and brain fog and stomach issues, digestion, bad sleep. And, now that's completely flipped around, and I'm living, as close to perfect as you can be. I love it. But it was the work that I did that got me to this point. Okay. I'm very proud of this. Like the manifestation, the meditation app, Soma Wellness and Meditation. It's something I've done by myself, and I created it, and I keep adding and improving it. There's no big team behind the scenes. It's me. I learned how to do all the coding and everything. And so everything you see in that's me, and it's run by me. Okay. So for me, that was to make things accessible to as many people as possible. Okay. Using tools that I've used and sharing that in that kind of way. And so far I've helped, actually, this is a little bit wrong, it's just over 3,000 people now to transform their life. And those are people that I've actually worked personally with, either privately or in a group setting. Okay. Success stories. We all love a good success story. This is Kathy. Kathy and I started working together a few years ago now. She had chronic fatigue, but something that resembled long COVID. And so usually that means that there's a lifetime of stress and trauma that's been building and building and building, and our immune system starts to get more worn down. And she started to break free from that stored stress and that trauma. Okay. And she's now back to work, living an easier, stress-free life with no negative thoughts, or less negative thoughts by a long way. Okay. So transformations are definitely possible with all of this. And this is Shannon. When she first jumped on a call with me, she was in some pretty bad financial debt. She set up a new business and so on. So there's a lot of costs with that. She took it on personally. She had chronic stress and some anxiety about the whole thing. There's no doubt in my mind she was really good at what she did. It was just a bad period in her life. And her real, after the 12-week program, actually sort of at the midway point, things started to change. And her business is literally taking off. She's now got into a phase where she had a better relationship with money and so on, and started to pay the debt off, and it's great. So what happened was that she started to really connect to her purpose, and the turnaround was huge. Okay. And then we have Tina as well. Lovely Tina from Ireland. Hello, if you're here. She wanted she just very inquisitive. She just wanted to improve any aspect that could be improved in her life. Improving her sleep, getting deeper sleep, connecting with her truth. She'd taken a lot of different courses in the past, and she finished the 12 weeks feeling much more peaceful, present, and fulfilled. So it's just lovely to see these changes like in these sessions. So there's a lot of testimonials about all of this here. So let's get into it. The 5 hidden habits that quietly keep you stressed, stuck, and spinning your wheels. Mistake number 1, okay, is trying to fix your mind with your mind. Now, hopefully that makes sense. But overthinking and trying to think our way out of negativity is not going to be the way to approach it. Okay, fire with fire. Okay, it's not going to help. We need some water, right? Or we need to starve it of oxygen. There needs to be a different tact, a different way at approaching the issue. So the truth is, the mind cannot dissolve the stress and the thoughts by itself. We need to go beyond thinking entirely. Okay, and we find this in presence and stillness and in being. You see, I put a capital B there with being. This corresponds to our true self. Who are we? So is this exactly what's happening to you? You can say it in the comment. Yes. And love to see the comments coming in. Mistake number 2 is using self and surface level tools and expecting the deep transformation. Okay. It's called putting in the work, which means there is work to it. No one's going to wave a magic wand. I do my best to, but it really comes down to the individual. So doing things like your affirmations, breathwork, and journaling are going to be really helpful, but we're going to want to get deeper, treating the symptoms, not the causes. So I always put some of those things at like surface level. Okay, but we need to go deeper than that. That's why I've got the iceberg there. There's a whole lot of stuff underneath that isn't getting scratched at. Okay, so the same patterns will start repeating if we don't get to the deeper stuff. So we want to go subconscious programming and get to those core sort of deep inner beliefs. All right. And mistake number 3 is believing that stress and self-doubt are just who you are. It's kind of accepting, right? We don't need to do that. Most will start internalizing their pain and think, oh, this is just me. This is just how it is. This is my lot. But we don't, okay? That's a safety net. That's us going, oh, this is safe to think like this because this is something that I know. Yeah, does that make sense? The stress and self-doubt are not your true self. They're conditioned patterns. Okay? You can actually rewire your nervous system and reconnect with your true nature. Okay? At the heart of everything, we have peace, we have calmness, we have powerful. Okay? We are powerful, and it's recognizing that. Power is inside of us, and we're whole. So if you feel like you're fragmented or broken, again, that's another conditioning that we've believed because we're only seeing a small part of the puzzle. Okay. So What mistakes are you making? Okay, you'll see the poll pop up now. See what resonates. I'm going to try and make this as interactive as possible. Keep you on track. So, our first little exercise is the mini breathwork break. So, if you want to get comfortable, just make sure you've got your back supported. You can close your eyes as well. And so, let's drop out of the mind and into the body just a little bit. Just scan over your body and let go of any stress, tension on the surface. And we'll start to access a deeper awareness. So just make sure you've got your eyes closed. If it's safe to do so, of course. If you're out in public, maybe you don't feel comfortable doing that, so you can keep your eyes open, but if you can, close them. And give me a very deep inhale through the nose. Fill up the belly and the chest. So really breathe down into the belly and then breathe into the chest to create space. Get as much in as possible. And when you breathe in as much as you can, hold it. Okay. And now I'd like you to exhale slowly through the mouth. You can just open your lips a little bit and just breathe out slowly. When you're ready, do another inhale through the nose, fill up the belly, fill up the chest. Hold it. And let it go out through the mouth. One last time, in through the nose, fill up the belly, fill up the chest. Hold it. And slowly breathe it all the worries, breathe it out. Everything that no longer serves you. Let go of needing to fix everything. And just realize that you're safe just to be as you are. Okay. Hopefully you're feeling a bit better, a bit more relaxed. So we have the energy shift. Okay, how to use stress as a gateway to peace, power, and prosperity. Understanding what stress really is integral to this. Okay, so stress isn't the problem, it's your relationship with it that is. Stress is just a signal. It's not the enemy. It's actually your body and your system's way of trying to protect you. Okay, so think of it like that. It thinks that you're under threat. It's a system's way of showing that something is out of alignment in your system. Okay, so when you understand the message, which can be difficult to decipher at the beginning, but once you do, once this awareness starts to grow within you, you can transform it into fuel for growth. Okay, and this is a big part of my journey, is understanding what all that meant. Okay, so most stress is actually unconscious. It's stress that you're not aware of. And we call this chronic background stress. It's going on in the background without us really realizing it. Okay. So real stress isn't the traffic or your inbox, the daily things. It's years and generations of unresolved emotion and trauma. And it's stored in our body. We actually inherit stress about 7 generations. Okay. It's typical with humans. It's how we've made it this far. Okay, we learn to naturally defend ourselves in situations from our ancestors' experiences. It gets passed down. So until it's released, it keeps your system in this fight or flight response, and it's basically blocking you from your greatness. Okay, prosperity and peace. It's like all the junk and all the stress and everything is building up in your system, and it's not letting you see the truth that's within you. Okay, so it's all a sideshow. It's all distraction. And stress is basically a lack of flow and way too much control. Okay, too many people want too much control over their lives, and they're not allowing to surrender, let things go, and let the universe kind of show the way sometimes. Okay, when we try and have too much control, then there's a lot of expectation and a lot of disappointment. Okay, so when life energy, we call this prana in Ayurveda, when it's stuck in the body, it creates tension. Okay, and so we have meditation and deep nervous system work help to unblock that energy so you can return to your natural state of ease and abundance. It is so important. And we live in a world today where it's just go, 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 go the whole time. And people find it very difficult to just relax and just be present. Yeah. So I know it probably sounds very basic, but the greatest things in life are the simplest things. And this is all very simple. I want to make this very simple for you. So where do negativity and self-doubt come from? Well, it's imprinting at an early age is most of the time, okay? And it's all the social conditioning as well as we grow up. So we are very sensitive and we absorb a lot between the ages of 0 and 7, okay? So whatever is going around in our environment, we will start to see that as truth. And we often start to internalize messages like, I'm not good enough, or I must earn love. Oh, I want to get that out of the head. We don't want to start thinking and repeating that. So just ignore that. Okay. I want to get away from that kind of talk. So these become unconscious patterns shaping our adult lives. Okay. So repetition of survival patterns. Self-doubt is your system's way of staying safe. Okay, it's questioning everything, something that we know. It repeats familiar patterns, even if they're limiting. The body's first thing is survival. It's a very primitive, hardwired part of us. So that is number one on the list is survival. But we want to get ourselves out of that survival mode because a lot of, today in our lives, it's not necessary. Okay, we're not out in the wild anymore, fending for our lives. So change feels scary because unfamiliar equals unsafe. And what we want to do is transcend fear and start being more confident and trying new things. Okay. And this is where nervous system dysregulation comes in. Okay. It's stuck in survival mode, and that blocks the confidence and the creativity, like I just said. And when your body starts to feel unsafe, clear thinking and empowerment literally shut down. It's the it's the frontal cortex of our brain. Rational thinking, decision making, all of that gets suppressed because the blood flow is no longer there. It's going to the back brain. It's going to survival. Okay, so you can't expand when your system is stuck in this fight or flight, and even the freeze mode. Yeah, when we're stuck, we're freezing, and we don't know why. So we want to shift from scarcity to prosperity, consciousness. I love the word consciousness. I never knew what that really meant when I first started all this, but now I've got some understanding. So scarcity is a lens, not a reality. And so this is where we're going to get into the abundance and the affirmation, manifestation, that kind of thing. Scarcity is a mindset of not enough. Okay, it's not just about money. Okay, money is something that will flow. Affluence will flow when we line up certain other things, and so it shows up as a lack of time, energy, worth, or beauty. Prosperity begins when you shift into your trust and the possibility. Okay. And it requires safety. Your nervous system must feel safe to allow expansion. The problem is today is we've normalized stress. So we've normalized not feeling safe. So therefore, by default, we feel safe when the system is actually stressed and it doesn't feel safe. Does that make sense? That's why we start with Vedic meditation and nervous system healing. Okay. Vedic meditation is the technique that I teach. It's tens of thousands of years old. It's been around for a very long time. It's probably one of the most impactful and effective and easiest forms of meditation that there is. It's why I've done it. It's what lured me in 9 years ago and changed my life. Okay, it's called the effortless practice, and we can sit really comfortably, have our back supported. There's no crossed legs or anything like that. Super easy once we know how. There's a procedure of learning. Once you have it, you're good, and you've got it for the rest of your life. So when safety returns, abundance flows in naturally. Okay. Identity is the root of your results. So shifting from not enough to I am worthy and powerful changes everything. You're starting to rewire the neurons in your brain. So you're creating new pathways. And that's what we want. If we start saying negative things like I'm not enough, then you're just strengthening the existing ones, and it becomes even harder to make that change down the line. So we need a little bit of effort. And this is why, I do a lot of affirmations, is to help to get that train moving, to get it going, creating that new pathway, loads of new branches and pathways. So your outer world will start to mirror your inner identity. We have to do the work inside of us to start shaping our reality outside of us. We have the power to do that, but it has to start from within. Nobody else is going to do it for us. We can sit there our whole life and hope things are going to happen. We have to act. Okay, we have to do that. So, Paul, are you ready to shift from scarcity consciousness to a prosperity consciousness? Can you do it? Do you feel like this is the right time in your life? I mean, you're on this webinar, so there's some curiosity there. Is this the time for you to do that? The inner unlock. How to clear subconscious blocks and finally feel fully aligned. So we want to clear those limiting beliefs. You don't need to sort of go through and relive your past. You don't need to do all this past life regression stuff. You need to update your program. Okay, this rewiring thing that I was telling you. Okay, we need to use tools like meditation and visualization. Okay, they go deeper. They go below the surface of the iceberg, and they take you into a deep state of rest that allows the body to start to let go of stress. Okay, so it becomes this automatic thing. It's just at the moment in our lives, sleep doesn't allow us to go into those deep stages. And with meditation, Vedic meditation, we go 2 to 5 times deeper than the deepest stage of sleep. And we do this, we call it restful alertness, when we are aware, but we're also going into a deep state of rest. Something happens with the brain where it's like, I am now safe and I'm aware, I'm conscious, I'm having a thought, but I'm also going super deep. And that sends a signal to the brain and the body to go, it is now safe to start to release. Okay. And that way, old patterns stop running your life. Okay. You start letting go of those old negativity patterns. Okay. And the need to feel like we have to survive. So we want to start activating your true inner power. Okay. Power isn't force, it's presence. We have to be present. Another great thing about Vedic meditation is that becoming present is a side effect. It's a natural side effect because you're no longer living in a stress state. You can be not in the past and not in the future. You can be naturally here, fully here. So true power is staying grounded and aligned, no matter what's happening around you. And it really puts up like this force field around you where stress eventually cannot penetrate, it cannot get in. It's happening around you, but it's not happening to you. And it transforms everything, how you live your life, how you interact with everyone in your life. And this daily practice helps you embody that calm, that magnetic version of you. And this is how my life changed. Okay. We need to live in that full daily alignment. Okay. And alignment means your values, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions are all in sync. They're all aligned with yourself and your truth. It's the key to flow and ease. So in Soma Radiance, we'll build a daily rhythm that keeps you aligned with your highest self. And in that, I call it the small self versus the big self. And we want to transition into the big self. Okay. Now, are you ready to remove all the blocks and become your highest self? There's another poll. Look, I told you, I made this interactive. I'm trying to keep you going. So let's see what happens. Now, this is the interesting one. I've got a 7-day challenge for you. And this isn't something that I share that often. Okay, not even with some of my private clients, because this requires action. This requires somebody who's serious and wants to give this a good go. So I'm sure that you've been doing the affirmations from my Instagram page and so on. And that's great. That's awesome. That's going to be doing a whole load of good for you. So this one is to repeat this affirmation. So this affirmation, this phrase is I developed this for this particular day, for this particular masterclass. These little phrases here, and I want you to, so on the app, I'm sure a lot of you have got the app. Just go onto the homepage and you can see the grounding meditation. That's free. You can access that. Everyone has access to that. If you don't, just send me a message and I'll sort it out for you. But you just play that. I think it's like 2.5 minutes or something. And then afterwards, you're just going to sit there and you're going to repeat this phrase 108 times. Okay. And you might say, like, okay, why do I need to say this thing so many times? Now, from the ancient Vedic tradition, which is where my teaching comes from, there's something to do about cosmic alignment. And so 108, you have 108 mala beads, right? People will meditate with the mala beads and they'll go from each bead to the next and they do 108. It's actually a cosmic alignment as well. So the average distance between the Earth and the Sun is 108 times the Sun's diameter, okay? And it's the same with the Moon and the Earth as well, okay? This reflects cosmic harmony. And so there are also 12 zodiacs in astrology and 9 planetary influences in Vedic astrology. So 12 times 9, 108, okay? So it symbolizes the full range of human experience. So I challenge you and find a way to reach out to me either on Instagram or keep an eye out and let me know how this goes after your 7-day challenge. But do it every day. Do it before bed. So as you get into bed, just play the guided meditation that's going to ground you and then repeat these affirmations out loud. You can go between like out loud and in your head and keep going like that and just keep going and really start to feel it. Feel those words, believe them, because that will basically, after this webinar, after this masterclass, it's just going to give you that ramp, okay? And it can be really, really helpful. So give it a go. Let me know how it goes. So just a quick recap. We've gone through the 3 hidden habits keeping you stressed, stuck, spinning your wheels. I love that word, that phrase, spinning your wheels. I nearly put headless chickens, but I didn't feel like it was the right thing to put in. We explored how to turn your stress, negativity, and self-doubt into prosperity, peace, and abundance. And we revealed how to clear subconscious blocks and finally feel fully aligned. Okay. So can you believe how powerful this is? The mind is powerful. Our thoughts are powerful when they're channeled in the right way. And when the body's put into a place where it can finally let go. Okay. Now that you know how to release stress, negativity, and self-doubt, imagine your life just a few months from now. Okay. Just close your eyes and visualize it. If you weren't stressed, what would you be doing right now? What would your life be looking like? Okay. You'd be waking up calm, clear, confident every single day. It was normal to feel like that. You're making decisions from alignment and not from fear. Okay. And you're feeling deeply connected to your purpose, power, and peace. A lot of the work I do is to help someone discover their purpose. Because when you find that, we call this Dharma, when you find that, you start living with it, the universe will start supporting you with that. So it makes things a little bit easier. So what's next? We've covered a lot today. And I've tried to keep this under 30 minutes. I've failed. We're already 35 minutes in. I'm sorry. I really try to keep this down. But basically, if this sparks something in you, whether it's clarity, curiosity, or a sense that I just needed this, then you're not alone. Okay. So I have a question for you. What if we didn't stop here? What if you could actually fully implement this and live it with support? Be honest, how many of you would love to keep going? Drop a yes in the chat if that's you. I'm going to keep going, but put the yeses in and I'll keep going, and I'll look back in afterwards. So you heard me drop in Soma Radiance earlier. It's a 12-week one-on-one journey, okay? And this is designed to change so when you start this course, it's designed to change your life from the very first session, okay? Your life will never be the same once you start implementing these very easy tools, okay? So the first thing is really to learn how to calm your nervous system on a daily basis. And then we build from that. We start to rewire the subconscious, because things will start to become, once we have that stillness, you're becoming more aware of the subconscious things. And they'll rise up and you can let them go and you can do what you need to do to be able to release, okay? And you start building a life that feels aligned and powerful for you. What are you going to get? You're going to get 1 hour, weekly 1 hour one-to-one sessions with me. And we also have connections afterwards, like WhatsApp and so on. So we're always in regular contact. You're going to have Vedic meditation training, okay, and nervous system healing and subconscious reprogramming. And then there's support and the structure for the real transformation. And one thing I didn't mention here is the manifestation part. So once we get to the core, once we do these basic parts, we then start transitioning into the weekly program starts to go more into the manifestation, okay? But we need to do these things first and to get to that point. A few more, just go through the success stories again. We've got Kathy, changed her life. We've got Shannon, within 12 weeks, huge transformations, okay? She was willing to do the work with me, and it just made the difference. And actually, she wants to do some more sessions because it's been so impactful. She's like, why would I stop this? Which is great. I love it. I love working with people one-to-one like that. And then we've got Tina as well, just wanted to reconnect, wanted to get to know the true Tina. And that's what she got. She's now got the tools to then start to enhance that. The snowball effect will start to play out. So if you want to see if this is right for you, let's just have a relaxed chat, okay? So there's no pressure, just a connection, okay? So this is for you, okay? If you've been carrying your stress, doubt, or fear for way too long, and you're probably carrying other people's stress as well, and you're ready to feel calm, confident, and clear. I see this a lot with people who have got children. They've got a lot of pressures in their life, right? It's not just work, it's family, it's dependency, and they haven't given themselves the time that they deserve for themselves, okay? So if you're ready to feel calm, confident, and clear, then this is definitely going to be for you. You want to support, you want the support to be able to make real lasting changes, okay? That's what this is. So there's a little picture of me in my training in Bali. We used to go out and watch the sunset and stuff like that, and the moon come. That was amazing. I loved it. So just imagine that you stop living from your old stories that you tell yourself, and you trust yourself fully, and you trust the world around you fully, okay? You wake up feeling calm and a sense of purpose, okay? Would that feel worth exploring? Just think to yourself, is that worth exploring? Is it worth finally understanding who I am and what the stillness is that's been waiting for me to access, okay? So you've got two choices. Now, I love the Matrix because I grew up with it. I thought it was amazing. Not only did I later down the line start to realize what what it actually meant. When I started meditation, it's like, oh, okay, this starts to make sense now. I know now it's not so sci-fi. But you have two choices. Keep doing what you're doing. And maybe you're making small changes and you're getting somewhere, but it's very slow. Or try something new and give yourself a real chance to grow and develop in a relatively short amount of time. Yeah. It's just the tip of the iceberg. I love that analogy because it's so true. I mean, there's so many things about myself that I had no idea about until I started doing the work. And it was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So today was just the beginning, okay? With Soma Radiance, we go deep and create real change. So go ahead and book a call through the button below. You're going to see it pop up. And, you can go on my website and you can see all of the testimonials, right? People send these in. I love reading them. It's just amazing to see the changes and unfold as I work with people. Any questions? Let's open it up. Let's see if there's, see if I can help. Yes, Ariane. Yes, 108, the mala beads. Exactly. Yep, that's exactly why. Should one count while saying the mantra? It's difficult for me to imagine how to do it without distracting myself. It's so if you've got mala beads, which I imagine a lot of you don't have that, then yes, you can count. You can. What I used to do is just get a pen and paper or a pencil, and I used to do like 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks, 4 marks, 5 marks, and cross it out, and then 5. So you can do it that way as well. But yeah, that's probably the easiest way. I wouldn't try and give your mind too many different things to do at once. You want to be more aligned. So you can try it that way. Hopefully that helps. Let me see. Any other questions? I love the app. Thank you, Sam. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. There's so much more to come. I'm just going to start adding more and more features as I listen to you all and find out what you want. Oh, and by the way, on the app, there's you can do that. There's a meditation and a meditation course on there, and there's a manifestation course that you can add yourself to as well. And there's a free trial as well, 7-day free trial. So you can, it's risk-free. Give it a go. Hey, Chris, the app. So the app is called Soma Wellness and Meditation. You can find it on the app stores. If you go onto my Instagram profile, you'll find I think you'll find a link there. You'll find it there somewhere. And if you don't, just send me a message inside Instagram and I'll send you a link for it. It's probably the easiest way to get hold of me. Let's see. So it's not with the eyes shut. It can be. Just depends if you've got the mala beads or not. And so, but it doesn't need to be. No, we don't have to. It's not like we're going into a meditation. We did that at the first part. So you can do it with your eyes open. I would do it sitting down though. Yeah. So let's see. You can, by the way, use the QR code if you want to book on as well. That should be easier. So you can just put your phone up and it'll take you to the bookings. Okay, let's see. And there's for the first 10 bookings, there's going to be an extra discount on if you choose to take a course. So it's the first 10 people that book in, it's going to be automatically applied to when we have a chat and see if you want to do that. There's also lots of other things that the offerings, there's group courses and stuff like that. So you can actually learn to do the meditation as well, which is what I did 9 years ago. I learned the meditation, but the other, like the 12-week program, is putting all my knowledge, everything that I've learned over the last 9 or so years, and just created this thing, this container, which is, for me, helps me go towards that sense of fulfillment. I get the most joy out of teaching that. Mala beads, yes, they're basically beads that you have around your neck, and there's 108 beads, and they have like a starting point, and you sort of work yourself around. I haven't got mine here with me. They're I think they're by my bed. But yeah. So yeah, it's you can do that. So who have we got booked on? Let's have a look. So we have Kristen. That's cool. We've got Kristen. We've got another Tina. Awesome. Oh, they're coming in now. They're coming in now. Keep putting your questions in if you need. I'm here for a few more minutes. Sorry, I'm like 15 minutes over. I try my best, but I didn't want to shortchange you too much. I wanted to keep some of the, didn't want to skirt over things too quickly. So yeah. What will happen on the call? Okay, so basically it's just finding out why you want to do this. What's the motivation behind it? Because I can only teach a certain amount of people. So I need to see if you're aligned and if you're willing to do the work with me, because if we kind of work together, like I said, I'm not going to wave a magic wand. I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to support you in the best way that I can. So it's really understanding that if you're ready, if it's the right time in your life to do something like this, and to reach out and start having the future that you deserve. There's a very nice saying in this tradition that I work with, and it's a birthright to have the best. You all deserve the best. And this practice, the way that the tools that I give are a way for you to achieve that and step up to that. So yeah. Any other questions? Let me know. What is this for me? Why should I make a change now? Well, it depends. Like, I imagine that you're on this call to change, because something's not quite right. You have this feeling, and so that's why you should make a call. And you might learn some things on the call as well. So there's that option as well. So yeah, that's it. Any other questions? Feel free to send me a message afterwards. But I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to speaking to all these people that are booked in. I think the 10 call thing is now done, but there's still time if you need to book. Get on a call, then I'll see you on there. Okay, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.